got some
better
part to
like
it,
what
like,
you have in the UK, where it's like we have a lab that we get samples for every week. So it might be almost like maybe we say
it does a little bit. I think it's with a little bit more carbon, I think it's great
towards
Is that the
the fire on. Yeah. You want to try?
I'll try this one.
Can you tell me how much you this thing is? It tastes fine now. I'll do it in a month. I mean, it can. Sometimes it just fucking oxidizes. It tastes oxidized right out of the gate. I don't think this does. So it's definitely bitter too, which is also always context. Yeah, the bitterness is. Yeah. It's also, this is like 32 degrees. So, you know, honestly, this thing is 10 degrees warmer, you taste that malt, because it finished the clay. This one also, this is 2.5 Play-Doh. No, this is 3 Play-Doh, which I think is really perfect for it. You know, so ABD is sitting around 7 on it. I don't know, maybe we get a taste of it. There. It does have a little bit of that
Oh yeah, I like that. First like sometimes that's a little
resin?
yeah, it's plain red. And I wondered if there was something there was like so where like crystallized salts that are possibly pushing it.
I'm certified.
I am going to be
What do you think that happened?
Pizza. Yeah, Chase made that pasta.
Yeah, also, like I said, seriously, hey, I'm giving 2.5 maybe right now. It's not quick. I'm just gonna say 19. It tastes like it's a 2.5.
Registration.
It does come across like this.
So doggies?
Which is what we were going for, actually. Obviously, mine is half the fresh hops. So this is the collaboration with Fire on Mountains. It's in town. And we've done a few different times in there. There's a beer bar, and they're pretty knowledgeable about beer. And the dude was just like, you know, hey, it's this time of year. We travel a lot. Like, stop. It's not going celebration states. And I was like, all right. I think we can manage that, you know what I mean? So we come in and I kind of design starts, you know, try to minimize the malt, but still get some color. It was a double batch, so a 30, and
Did you guys like
so we did the first one, we did there, and the guy
shops. That on
They put these giant bags of down and chains inside their 100, 200 girl. One day, some seller they were going by, they already transferred celebration off the bags. And they're doing whatever, and I guess they kind of came by and somebody was messing with the condom and realized it was full of beer. And he tried it, and they're holy fucking shit. And it turned out that the bags had soaked up all the beer in the hot spot. And they left it there for a day, and they're all turned down into the bottle. So now
they still think about
and the seed, and it's like only the taste of it. And it's like, you know, 1 10 ounce pour per person kind of thing. It's great. It's just like, I can't even imagine back 3
It's pretty
Because then I had to say, hey, be really careful when you put these on the floor. Because they're going to end up here. Actually, in this case, I think that was a subset because they were like sequential numbers. Yeah. So it was like number whatever one.
There's left.
Last year, it was oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, going to the distillery is not on my list. Did you get my email?
I did, but since you emailed me,
It looks weird. Black may be the one. I don't even get out of bed. We don't know if we have place. Just all the
No. Oh, that's just
I know that. But I'm thinking I can
I have that. I have that in the left.
Well, then I know. Mine is
I actually met somebody that got like, yes.
Whoa.
I know, but he already was in the second grade. He's like, so much.
Whereas two rows not like I'll go check that out.
Oh, yeah.
It was
Dana.
Hey, Shay.
How are you doing, Dana?
I'm doing great.
Good. How are you doing, girl?
I'm good.
You've spoken a million times.
I'll be like you. What would be your advice?
I got nothing.
What is the abbreviation?
Still living over by,
CSR, corporate social responsibility. Yeah. If that's okay. That's great.
that's a lot.
I was just told, like, that the batteries,
There you go. I didn't know.
I'm not at school, but you're not wrong. It's my pleasure.
Literally right there now, like, thank you for everything.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Oh.
Yeah, we're gonna do this. It is listed that we're gonna do something. That's great. Yeah.
I'm actually like properly stuck on my phone. And that's what I never use. And I have like 5 years. Yeah. Yeah. It's just your colors.
Did you ride in Flagstaff? Snowboard, ski? Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Sure. So actually this last week yesterday I was but last year I switched back to snowboard and skiing every 20 years. I used my friends and like they were short and they were super short, so like trying to skiing this year. I was just like, I'm so bad because they're longer and the bindings are more back, and I just like kept doing stupid things like what made you switch back?
You got that.
Yeah. I have kids, so when I taught them, I taught them the students. That's what I did too. So I skied when I was like 4 and then switched over to snowboard. Last year I switched back to skiing. But I'm like, it's pretty fun to see that. Now my daughter's like, I want to snowboard with you. We're like, 3 days, and then you're gonna be good. Yeah, she's a great student. So she understands all that. Exposure, mountain, hills,
Is that a different slide? What happened?
Oh, I clicked on your thing and I didn't know it worked. That's my fault.
Oh, I was like, what?
I don't know. I clicked on it.
What'd you click on?
I exited out of the presentation and then I clicked on that.
Which one?
That
Intro?
one. Yeah.
Isolate my presentation, or I'm going to stress people out with how many tabs I have open.
Oh, take your time. Take
You
your
got
computer.
time.
You added a slide for no reason.
No, I didn't.
Somebody did.
So, where's the treasurer financial stuff?
I don't have any of that.
Where's Evan?
Huh?
Where's Evan?
I don't know. Evan?
I'll ask him.
I have this. This is all I have for slides.
Okay. So I'll say land acknowledgement. Wait, what is the land
So it's,
acknowledgement?
thank you for hosting Steve Bowl. Let acknowledgement. Blah 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 blah.
Cheyenne, Ute, Arapaho, Lakota. Great.
Expert behavior policy.
Don't be a dick.
There'll be dick scholarships available
Okay.
at some point in the next meeting TBD.
Okay,
So,
let me grab Evan real quick because he has
if we
financials.
do we actually have it? Like, okay.
Yeah.
Grab him. Oh shit.
No, it's okay. They are in. Do you want me to email it to you?
Email them to RMD MBAA, actually. They're fine.
What did you send them
It's a
in?
DM between.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
that's why I never saw it.
Sorry.
That's why I never saw it.
I know. And I'm an idiot. I didn't transfer things over well.
Oh my
You don't have
god.
Slack on your
I don't.
forward message. No, how do I do it?
Okay, hold on.
Let me send this to share
Yeah, it looks all weird on Slack. It's
Yeah.
actually legit PowerPoint.
mail. Yeah, I was like, okay. You want RMD MBAA?
Please.
Gmail.com.
Oh my god, Scott. Not now. Go away.
Done. I think it's coming from my personal email. I don't know why.
Sorry, guys.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I was like, wait, did you add these? Because
It was like late last week. I was like, oh, I don't have access to that.
it's all good. Yeah, I think I like slacked you back on Saturday, and I was like, oh yeah, we're doing that, right? I woke up this morning though, and I was like, oh, are we good? But we've gotten pretty good at these, like having these.
Yeah. Nobody likes to leave in panic, but
So, okay, so I can present these after your thing, or where do you want that to be inserted into?
did you want to do them like after announcements?
I'm gonna have Francis jump up with me too because I want to announce.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Give me a second
It's
here.
gonna take like 3 days. I'm not diving deep into crazy shit in there. You don't even have a full
I was
year's
trying to feel like, where do we want to put that into? You know what I mean? Like,
do we have any announcements?
we have 2 slides, right? Yeah, we have like, not really. We have land acknowledgement, behavior, scholarships, next meeting. We don't have
Right
much.
after scholarships.
Okay.
That's
Alright, give me a second here. I'll figure that out.
fine. Or before.
Yeah. Cool. None of that's great. Great.
Yeah, I saw her there. I checked her for yeah, she
We're doing great.
Thanks for being you. Thanks for doing so much that I don't know how.
I do what I can. Where do you want the slides?
Which ones?
The
financials?
financials, yeah.
Yeah, let's do. Next meeting should be last because there's nothing on it, right?
Not really.
No, let's do scholarships after that stuff because he's going to talk about how many scholarships. No, I can say scholarships are available. We have them. Next is our financials to show that you have them. Yeah,
Fill this up real quick. Yeah, I'll fill this up real quick. Great.
Do you think that should be before or after?
What do you think?
Let's do it at the end because that's good for it to be about
It's
after
very
finances.
separate. It's very separate. It's like 2 different things, right? Like takeaways. Yeah, put that here.
But I think scholarships should go after because the takeaways
fine.
are that we.
Great. No, whatever we think works. I really don't know either. To be honest,
Whatever what?
I don't know how we want to do that, but like, does that work?
Yeah, or scholarships after we talk about finances.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Great. Done. So we're gonna do people.
Do we want to make a quick one of next year's? No, fuck it.
Just talk about it.
Okay.
There's no presence with friends. So we're gonna go acknowledgement.
Yep.
You just gotta hit play or like forward in the scholarships. This is just a quick brr.
Yep.
Take away next meeting, speak TDD. I'm gonna change this to not auto play, and then we're good.
Okay. And then I'll announce. Thanks for hosting us. When do I announce the new board?
What if you do it after this?
I think scholarship should be after that.
You guys need me to call a night again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just kidding. He's already here.
That's fine.
He knows what's up.
We got this.
There's still people in the
No, I just got kicked out of the tap room
Good.
by
Perfect.
Francis.
So you're late.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I was like one of the first ones.
So you're late.
No, just watching this always go down.
Well, we're adding a few slides. No, it's not technical difficulties. It's the fact that Danny's here, even though he got back in town this morning.
Yeah. Oh gosh. So it's ready to play. I can just. This is the order. Are you okay with this?
Yeah, yeah, no, I'm fine with it. I just don't know if we wanted to announce who the next year's going to be.
I don't know. That's a good question. After.
I'll say it after. Thank you for hosting. I'll figure it out. No worries about it. No worries.
Just wing it.
I'm just gonna
Cool.
send it.
Very cool.
You know I'm good at that.
Full send, baby.
You know I'm so good at that.
Full fucking send, Shay. Here we go. It's gonna be here until you click through. Gotcha.
All right. Is everybody actually out of the chat room?
I think so.
I gotta charge it up. That's good. You what? Oh no.
How we all doing? Everybody's got a fresh beer? Awesome. Thank you so much for coming, everybody. This is our 2025 holiday meeting. This is really about member appreciation. Make sure you grab a beanie because they're really, really awesome this year.
They're really cool.
They are really cool. There's 3 different colors. Do not forget. My name is Shay. I am the president of the Rocky Mountain District. And this is actually like my last meeting as the president. So, I know. I've done 2 years as president. I've been volunteering with Master for 5. Next year, I'm going to be the librarian, and you will all hear a little bit more about that. I'm super excited. But for 2026, our new president is going to be Francis! So yeah, we've got a lot of really good things in the works, and really thankful for this board and my time being up here in front of all of you. I can promise I never got better at public speaking, ever. That was the goal. Big shout out to Diebold Brewing Company. So, funny enough, this is my first job in Colorado when I moved here in 2018. They're family. I love them. I'm really thankful for them to be here.
Love you, Shay.
Here's our land acknowledgement. So sure, we're here in Sunnyside, Denver, Colorado, but I would like to acknowledge that we're on Cheyenne, Ute, Arapaho, and Lakota people land. Let's not forget that. And our expected behavior policy. It's printed in multiple places for you all to see. And when you sign up for meetings, you also have to click that you agree. But, you know, basically we are dedicated to providing a harassment-free conference, regardless of sexual orientation, disability, physical appearance, body size, race, or religion. The whole point of this is please be nice to each other. We are all here to learn and make community, and please follow that. Up next, we've got our district financials of 2025. Evan is our treasurer, and he's going to go over some of this for us. It's a big sheet.
Evan, come on now.
I'm going to put music in the slides next time.
So lots of numbers. I put this slide on here just so it's fair, because this is what we get from nationals, right? So we get a beautiful spreadsheet of numbers shows profits and loss, but I like to do takeaways more so because the other ones are boring. Last year was my first full year as treasurer, so I wanted to go back and just show 24 to 25. That's why we have a kind of a 24 and 25 tick over. Dues, meetings, sponsorships. Okay, one caveat to all this is we aren't through 25 yet. So I have all of 24's numbers, but obviously we don't have Q4 25s. They will not put those really together until, January, February. So we don't have that until then. So really the kind of our next meeting is when I'll maybe slide in something little. Just show you how we actually really ended up. And also with the site being down and the changeover of ownership with MBAA or leadership, or you know what I'm saying. Things are a little bit wonky, but pretty close to where we should end up. So 24, as far as income within membership, dues, and meetings and sponsorships. Thank you to all the sponsors. They really do help keep everything going within the district. We're actually up $1,500 so far this year. National investments. So we put all the money that comes in, we push it back out, gets invested just like anything else does. We've actually gained a little bit of money this year. We don't do that. Nationals does that for us. So it's our money working for us. Expenses, we're a little bit higher than last year to date. Obviously, we haven't recorded tonight's meeting, so drink up. Maybe. I don't know. The treasurer's talking. Don't drink. So we're about even. Not really concerned about insurance. We're always going to pay for that. Insurance rates rise every year. So a little bit higher, but not concerned about scholarships. We're actually about half year over year because last year we did 2 big ones. So there's money on the table where that's concerned. You'll see that as we go further down. Also in meeting technical equipment and other expenses, much lower than last year, but we invested in the district last year with things like computers and projectors and phones, stands, everything to make the actual live stream and the whole experience better for everybody. We were expecting to not see that consumed as much from the top line year over year. So net profit loss last year, in December I was like, we should not be losing money, we should not be making money. This year we're making too much money. So let's spend some more money. So current balance, 24, about $40,000 in the bank. This year, a little bit higher. Again, that's really outweighed just by what we invested back into the district last year. Healthy balance. Again, we're not for profit, we're not for loss. So that's all I got. Thank you.
All right, so Eric is not here, so you're going to have to suffer with me. So we have scholarships available. If there is something that you are interested in that is beyond the MBAA, tell us about it. Let us know. Do you want to go to South America? Do you want to go on an adventure to Germany? Is there some kind of certificate that you want? Let's also keep in mind that the MBAA is going through a lot of changes right now, and they are developing a Lean Six Sigma program. They are also working on things with the Cicerone program. So there's a lot more education that is coming up that we can look forward to. But guess what? You get to find out what we do. Yeah. Who's excited about that? Yay! Everyone gets to find out about the same time. So, keep an eye out for next year. If there's someone that you know that's like, hey, I want to level up, I'm curious, I want to go that next step, hey, encourage them. Get them out there. If there's a book they want, if there's something that they really are passionate about, let us know. Because we really want to hear about it. Because chances are they're not the only person that wants to know, and we want to make that dream happen. Because, we're a non-profit, we're not for loss, but we are all for education.
can be small and they can be large scholarships. They don't
Yeah,
have to
yeah.
be
It's like
big
if
ones
you.
that you see out there. They could be a couple $100 for books for a small
And
course.
we've definitely had people sit there and be like, hey, I want $500 to go to South America. And it's like, okay, yeah. So, let us know what's up with you, what's going on. And anyways,
Yeah.
bringing back Shane.
I think the whole point for this entire board is really to give our money back to all of you. We're here volunteering our time to spread that education. Recently, we've taken a little bit of saying yes to books back because of the library thing I know I've spoken to a few of you about. Our plan for 2026 is to basically have a library for all of the Rocky Mountain District. You'll fill out a Google form, something similar, and say, hey, I'm not reading this book right now. Let's put this into the library. You'll get your books back, and I've looked at a couple of different platforms where you basically click on it, say you want to check it out, it'll email me, I can coordinate that, or you can coordinate that. And you can say, hey, I want you to have this book for 2 weeks, or I want you to be able to have this book for 6 months. And I don't know, I don't want to spend $400 on a book that Francis has. So I think that that's going to be a really, really exciting thing of 2026, and I'm stoked for it.
Yeah,
But-
I had a random person give me $500-600 worth of brewing books, and I'm just like, well, they're just sitting on my shelf. They're nice, they're pretty, it's great. I get to have it as like a student background if I want to. But it doesn't actually do me any good. So, and a lot of us have books out there, and it's like not all of us necessarily need Water by John Palmer, but if you need the Practical Brewer's Manual that's published by the MBAA or a particular, like frankly, no longer in print microbiology manual, like let's get that out there. Let's make it accessible.
Yeah.
Because the thing is that every academic institution has a library. Why don't we?
Totally. I know. And also on that note, for scholarships regarding books, basically once I'm able to get all of these books cataloged, if you're like, hey, we don't have this one book, then we're more than willing to put the money in towards it because we want that to be part of our library that then everybody gets to enjoy. So really, really excited about this project we're working on. Our next meeting will be at some point in the spring. And the library announcement will be out sooner than that, but we're all going to go enjoy our holidays and get cranking under Francis's leadership. No, this is good. Up next, we have Carla from Odell. If you're ready, we can take a second if you'd like. Carla is going. Carla is going to speak to us about Odell's community outreach as being their community outreach baddie. Really excited to switch it up a bit, and this is a super powerful topic right now, especially in the world of craft beer. Community outreach is everything. So thank you so much for being here, Carla.
Thanks for having me.
Do it. Yeah, nice. I got this.
Hi.
Come on in.
Do you think that clicker will work with mine? Or should I just do it this way?
It's up to you.
Forward.
Just gonna
Here. That one. Oh, I didn't even need a dongle.
I think you did.
Maybe.
You do.
Wrong frame of the
I'm not. I just do our IT.
Settings, displays, built-in display. You know what? We're gonna actually do this for you. I'm gonna take this
Put it regular.
Yeah, we're just gonna take this guy somewhere. We have an actual dongle here. There we go. Do you want it mirroring or do you want it to, right now it's mirroring your screen, do you want it to be a second screen or?
I think mirror is fine.
Mirror's fine? Okay.
Right? Oh.
Yeah, that's up to you. I mean, if you have speaker notes you want to talk about.
By what?
Speaker notes you want to see on the screen or do you want to?
Oh, no, I sure don't.
Great.
So
great.
mirror
Let's
is
mirror,
great.
let's mirror it. That's
I'll
in
find
there.
it.
Go ahead and find it.
Thank you.
It'll already be up, so. And then hit slideshow. There you go.
Cool.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
slides talking about our community outreach. It's something that is deeply ingrained in Odell. It's a part of our ethos and our purpose. Our tagline truly is building community through beer. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about the history of craft beer, well, beer in general. As you all know, beer really started as a community feature. There were monks in Europe that were creating beer for travelers. Travelers would swing in and buy a beer, and the monks would then give alms and give all of the money back to their community. And I know you guys all know the history of beer, that it dates way back before that civilization was built on it. So can't have civilization without community. There are the Odells. This was actually at our 9-year anniversary. You can see back in the corner there. I don't know if any of y'all have made it to the last, or a couple MBAAs ago, maybe last year. We were at Odell. That gorgeous building that we're in on Lincoln Avenue now is not where we started. We actually started down the street about a half block in what is now Smokestack Pottery. And Doug had a few taps pouring out of the wall of the cooler. 9 Shilling was one of them. Easy Street Wheat was another. The Lovely Amber Ale was another. So we had folks come in and fill growlers at the time. And Doug was hand delivering Bill's beers and or kegs in his little yellow Datsun pickup truck. And quickly, people started coming in the door and saying, "We have a keg of beer for our fundraiser." And the Odells kept saying yes. And they realized that they were not going to have a brewery much longer unless they put some shape to their giving. So they created some pillars, and it's awesome. I was talking to Dan earlier tonight, Diebold, about people coming in and asking for beer and asking for engagement. And I really think that creating some goals, creating some guardrails around your giving is really important. For me in my role at Odell, I've been there 19 years, and it's the best way I have to say no, which is always hard, but because every nonprofit is worthy of our giving, but we simply can't and still be profitable. So they've created these pillars. We now constrain our giving to areas like equity, human services, and sustainability. So you'll see that through the slides too as we're talking about what we do. We lean really heavy into sustainability, particularly water. It's not a far stretch to see when you're holding a glass of beer that there's a lot of water in there. Not to mention the water it takes to grow barley and hops. So I'm just going to give you a little backstory about how our charitable program has evolved over those 19 years that I've been with the brewery. I was hired in 2007 and I worked 33 hours in our tap room and 7 hours doing our charitable give. So at the time, it was created when they brought me on. So I really shaped this program at Odell, and with the tutelage of the Odells themselves, I feel like I'm carrying on their legacy. And I also work intimately with all of our coworkers, and I'll get to that in a minute too. We started out donating our taster tray sales. So every taster tray that we sold, you got a little wooden token. I don't know, none of you are sold it. A couple of you maybe have sold it. But almost 20 years ago, we had these little wooden tokens when you came into Odell and bought our taster tray. It had $3 stamped on it, and you could use it to buy a T-shirt because we were so equitable. We didn't want to force you to give it away. So you could use it as a discount on a T-shirt, or you could put it in a bucket that we had a donation or a non-profit tied to. So part of my 33 hours a week in the tap room, about 20 of them were going, "Here's your $2 wooden token. You can put it in this bucket, or you can use it on a T-shirt." The line is out the door, and I'm saying that like 1,000 times over. It was really funny. But a lot of times, people would say, "I'm going to buy a T-shirt, and I'm going to donate my token." So that got my wheels cranking, and I realized that our guests and fans really were engaged, and they really wanted to be giving that money away. So that felt really good. So that morphed worked into a bunch of different forms of giving over the years. We didn't tip our taproom folks at first. We've had a few iterations of how we've paid our taproom guests over the years. But we collected tips because people were still throwing them on the bar, and we donated them. So each month they fluctuated, but they were anywhere from $900 in January to $3,000 in July. And so our nonprofits would receive that cash donation at the end of the month, and we just got paid, which, you know, at the time was something that was a living wage. I'm not even going to say it out loud now because it's not anymore at all. And it was barely that. In fact, I think all of us had a second job and whatever, but we were kids, and that's what you did. So we continue to add engagement as part of our tenets of giving. Again, I came in, we also do a lot of gift in kind. Dan and I were talking about this. One of D-Bolt's neighbors here came in and asked him for some beer to serve at a food drive they were doing. And he was like, sure, yes, I will give you a couple cases of beer to give away. He said, but where do I draw the line? And I think, you know, what we were talking about with the pillars and having some goals for your company is really important. We also have a charitable committee. And so all of our coworkers from different departments actually have a voice in our giving. So I think that's really important too, to kind of poll your coworkers. I don't know if you guys feel like there's all, but surveys are stupid and don't ever work. I think if I send a survey out to our team by email, I get like the same 7 people that fill it out, and we have 130 employees. So I've stopped doing those, but often if I can get people in a room, I'll just get a raise of hands. I mean, that's really all it takes is, how should we guide things? What are you guys interested in? And then, of course, something like the government shutdown happens, and we know that people need food, and so things like that make it really easy to dive in. So folks like Dan and Jack are really important in their neighborhoods, and making sure that if you were going to give a couple cans of food or a grocery bag full of food away to someone that needed it that's getting SNAP benefits, it's better to do it when you can walk in and get a free beer. So we know that's true. Again, you know, things just have sort of changed over the years. I was talking about our geographical footprint on Lincoln Avenue in Fort Collins. The Odells purchased that land in 1994. Our current brewery was built in 1996, and we've had probably 14 expansions in total, but 2 pretty major ones. One pushed our warehouse back out, almost double our footprint at the time, and that was in 2009. And it really felt like when we shut the brew house door, it was like there were 2 businesses, and it was really a huge bummer because our culture had been so tight. Like, we were all friends at the end of every day. We were having a beer together, and then all of a sudden it felt so disparate. And so I sat down with Corky and Odell, and we talked about it. And I was like, you know, we're just not a trust pulp company. We're not going to get in a conference room and because half of us would drop the other half just because it was funny, but mostly because we needed to do something good with our time. So we started volunteering. It was our first volunteer effort as a company. We didn't have to close down. We took half the company out 2 days in a row, and we did some erosion mitigation in a ranch just north of Odell that was washing about 4 million pounds of silt into the Clear River every year. And that was, again, in 2009. It's 2025, so about 16 years ago. That now irrigation ditch is so lush and beautiful. It supports a beaver system, and it no longer washes all that salt into our river, and we've really helped our city. So we realize now that even really small lifts or lifts over time can make a really huge impact. So that's been a really cool thing to see over the years. There we're working on a compost garden that's up the street from the brewery. Oops. I think the second bullet is actually really cool because we started engaging our fans in our volunteering. Now at our Sloan's Lake location up the street, we used to do it once a month, when we opened Sloan's Lake, we did a lake cleanup of Protect Our Rivers once a month. We have now cleaned up 41,000 pounds of trash with them. We've done over 100 volunteer efforts, and we've had over 1,000 volunteers. Probably not unique, but over and over, a lot of the same folks are coming and helping us clean up Sloan's. We actually don't do it every month now because we've cleaned up so much garbage that we're down to about 400 pounds each time we go out. So now I'm pushing our volunteers out into the neighborhood, and we're pulling garbage off the sidewalks and streets so that they don't go, the garbage doesn't go into the storm drains. That's hugely detrimental to Denver City water. So we want to keep the trash out of all that water. You guys all know great water makes great beer, so super important stuff. Costs us nothing. I give those volunteers a pint of beer. They come into Sloan's and our team is so excited, and they come in and have a pint with us. We all give a million high fives and get to know each other a little bit, and it's hugely powerful. And now so many of those folks are our regulars over there. We've now re-upped our volunteer program to include 16 hours paid a year. For some of our hourly employees, I think that makes a difference to our managers, for sure. And so I feel like you guys can talk to Elliot about this afterwards because he's a manager, so I think it's more impactful for him than even I get to see. But what we've really done is break down some of our volunteering into smaller increments, so it really affects your week. It's less impactful, so people are really getting their work done, and they're getting out into the community and doing great stuff. Our Denver team volunteers at Metro Caring the third Monday morning of every month, and so it gives them this opportunity to get over there for 3.5 hours. If you do that over the course of a year, you're putting in over 16 hours, and our managers are allowed to fudge that a little bit and pay some of our folks that are doing it more often, because so many of our folks can't get out and do it as often. So there's some gray area there. Our leadership has been really cool about it because they really believe in what we're doing, and I think that's the most important thing about all of this. All of this is that it's a top-down initiative. It really takes our C-suite to make sure that our ethos is playing out through the ranks of our whole team. And they're getting out with us. That's Chris Banks when he had long hair. I don't know if any of you guys know him, but he's got a pretty sweet rocker hairdo there. He's donating his time at the Homeward Alliance in Fort Collins every Friday of every month of every week. We go to Homeward Alliance and we do what's called the food pantry, and we give our unhoused community a cup of coffee and a snack bag and some warm oatmeal, sometimes a couple meals, kind of depends on what they have. But Elliot does it enough that he knows some of the guys by name and gals over there. Just a really cool opportunity to get out and represent Odell there too. Up top, that is High Park Fire Mitigation. We went up with a team called Coalition for the Poudre River Watershed, and we added dams. You can see we soiled some logs, and this is one of the biggest projects we've ever done. But we soiled some logs, we carried them down, we built dams in this gully, and now that gully no longer flash floods on 14, which is the road that goes up to the Mishawaka from Fort Collins. That was a really cool project, and then we've also planted about 4,000 saplings with them. And again, like, I'll get our crew out for a whole day. We can do half days. We get up in the Lurie State Park and pick up lodgepole pine cones now for them because of I don't know if you guys think climate change is real, but because it's staying warm so much higher now in the mountains, we're actually able to plant lodgepole pines about 1,000 feet higher than we were. So we're harvesting these pine cones, taking the seeds out and planting the saplings way higher. And they're great because they grow really fast. So they're keeping the soil on the mountains, keeping our river clean, making it easier for the city of Fort Collins. Moving along, again, we've just evolved this program so much over the years. We tried to create a standard. There was about a decade where we were able to claim that we were giving away $2 per barrel through the previous year. I think when all is said and done, if you counted all of our volunteer hours and the beer and wine that we donate, we probably do quite a bit more than that at this point. I have not seen my budget for 2026, though I will say that. I don't know about everyone in this room, but we are tightening our belts pretty hard at Odell Brewing right now. And we're sure we're going to make it because people know that we do these really great things in the community. And this has allowed us to set some goals over the years. So we have some seasonal partners. We have folks that we work with every year, kind of perennial. We work with Girls Inc. That's right up the street. We work with Tennyson Children's Center. Over at our Five Points location, we work really intimately with Pro House and Reading Partners. They do some reading programs in Globeville and Cole and the Curtis neighborhoods, where they go into elementary schools and they get every single kid there reading by 3rd grade. We work with Denver Mission, Alana Faith Chen Foundation. If you all have any interest in asking me about all these groups that we work with, please do. I'll make sure that Elliot knows how to get a hold of me too if you want to follow up with any of these things that we're doing. Earthlinks is another huge one that's in Sunnyside. They're absolutely incredible. They teach unhoused folks to make things like they make candles and teas and chapstick and things that you can actually purchase, and then they keep all the proceeds and pay to live. They have 3 tiny homes on their geographical footprint. They're just totally outrageous. We work a lot with the Gathering Place, One Colorado, Center on Colfax, Angela. Again, if anything, I'm a resource for a lot of nonprofits. We've tried a bunch of different stuff. We had a beer dedicated to our charitable giving. It was called Kindling. Didn't last, sadly. We still do community handles. They look a little different than these posters, but y'all will see we're now doing quarterly beers because I really want to do a deep dive with our nonprofits. We were flipping these monthly, and I could barely tell our pub tenders all about the nonprofits and get them to know them and have them come in and have a beer. It was just so much to orchestrate and so much information. So we're gonna slow down. We're taking a step back. We're gonna slow all this down and really build some deeper relationship. We've done some campaigns that are, I think, kind of low-hanging fruit opportunities. Make It Pretty was a really cool campaign we did when we launched Sip and Pretty. And we did, this was before our relationship with Protect Our Rivers, but we did river cleanups over our entire distribution footprint. So everywhere from Montana to Texas, over to Missouri, over to Nevada. We were doing cleanups with nonprofits in all of those regions with our sales reps in the field. The best part was celebrating with the beer after, but we were cleaning up a ton of trash. It was really cool. House That Beer Built, I'll get to a little bit more extensively here in a minute. Have any of y'all participated in a House That Beer Built? Not yet? Okay. There's a trail build over on the side. We work with a bunch of groups in Fort Collins, Poudre Wilderness Volunteers. Wildlands Restoration Volunteers are down here. They're amazing. They're also in Fort Collins. And then we also work with COMBA, Colorado Overland Mountain Bike Association, and go out and do trail building and cool stuff like that. And then I would just encourage you all to build a collaborative community. You're already doing it. You're already friends. You're already getting in the same room, doing the cool stuff, sharing information. You can do that in your community as well, and it's really powerful. I would say, first off, use your space. This space is amazing here at Diebold. You can have a beer dinner that supports a nonprofit in your neighborhood. It doesn't have to be that big. But I will say that beer dinner that I have a picture of there, all of the breweries in Fort Collins participated in this. It was with an organization called Fortified. A gal named Christina Cash actually worked at New Belgium a million years ago, but she and I have stayed friends, and she now runs a company that helps nonprofits put on events like this. And all of us were there. We did an 8-course beer dinner where we all paired a beer with a course, and in one of the nurseries in Fort Collins, and we raised like $40,000 for Vegetable Connection. So it wasn't a heavy lift. It was like 3 cases of beer per brewery because we were only doing like a 4-ounce pour. And then Fortified did all of the work, and Vegetable Connection got up and talked about what they were doing in the community, and people just gave them a bunch of money. It was super cool. This Focoma picture on the left-hand side is really neat. I'm super proud of the relationship that we have with Fort Collins Musicians Association. Each year we put on the Fort Collins Music Experiments. It's called Foco MX. I don't know if y'all have heard about that, but we employ a lot of I keep saying we because I'm actually on the board. But that was a no-brainer. I've worked with Greta and Lindsay O'Brien from the day that they planned Foco MX, which was actually we're about to host our 18th. So it's cool. And Odell is the platinum sponsor. They were like inspiring about this music festival on our patio, and we keep talking that. So we were lucky enough to get involved from the jump on that. The skateboards are really cool. They're an organization that we work with called Launch. It's community through skateboarding. I actually got that idea from a nonprofit down here in Denver. It's a graphic design nonprofit, and they put on an event every year called Bordello, and they were raising, it's in Denver, they were raising like $200,000 a year. It was unbelievable. Selling decks that artists printed on and burned or reconfigured or whatever. Launch was hosting these art shows at Odell, and they were raising around $40,000, which is huge at Fort Collins. And it was just amazing to have like super fine art skateboard decks in our. We didn't have them in our tap room; they were in our barrel room. It was really fun and brought like I would say 1,200 people on a Friday night. We didn't donate any beer or anything, just the space. So we probably sold 2,000 beers just hosting this art show. It was really cool. That picture on the right is really dark. Sorry about that, but that was an event we had this spring called Clean Water for Our Neighbors. It was brought to my attention that this affects Denver to actually the entire state. Mobile home park tenants will have their water shut off for 3 or 4 days at a time. If there's a break in the line, they shut the whole park down until that small break is fixed. They start the water back up, and they don't have to test down the line. And while the water is turned off, things like lead can settle into the metal when oxygen hits it. And they also get holes in the pipe from tree roots and normal stuff, but it allows bugs, organic matter, and all of these things to enter the water once they start it back up. So people get sick down the line in the mobile home parks. So we held an event this spring. Our county health commissioner, Tom Gonzalez, Colorado State Senator Kathy Kipp was there. Our county commissioner, Kristen Stevens, and 3 folks with lived experience in the park, 2 who had kids that got sick were there. Anyway, I put this together with a group of folks I was working with. We raised $10,000 that we bought water filters that we actually just distributed yesterday. So we were able to hit a whole park with 200 filters. Epic Water Filters is amazing. They're working with the CDPHE to make sure that more local home parks are getting them. But if you start digging in around where you're at, there's a lot of stuff going on. Groundworks Denver is an amazing organization that works with CDPHE to make sure that people have access to clean water. We used to do the flock when we had money. We did the flock party at the Denver Zoo. It's really expensive. We work with the Gardens on Spring Creek and do their garden affair every year. So we're really dug into Fort Collins. We're doing our best to be more active down here in Denver too. We did Brave Noise, like I'm sure a lot of you did, and Ales for ALS, kind of some of the standards that we're able to contribute to, and then give large sums of money. I think Ales for ALS is upwards of $150,000 now. So you can give just little bits at a time, whatever you have access to. House That Beer Built. This is a really fun program that was started in Fort Collins in 2012. Corky and I sat down with our local Habitat for Humanity, and we were like, we're going to build a habitat house. And we sat down with the executive director, and she was like, awesome, it's $100,000 for the bricks and sticks. And we were like, we're not building a house, but we'd like to get some help and maybe build it. So we reached out to all of the breweries in Fort Collins. I'm bummed that these logos I put on here don't have all the breweries listed, but when we did the first one in 2012, there were 9 brewers in Fort Collins and 8 signed on to build a house with us. And it was so cool. And it was the first disaster recovery house our Habitat had ever built. It was up in the Cedar Canyon. It was following the High Park fire. Cameron Peak was second. And it was a kindergarten teacher at a local elementary school, and all of her neighbors were losing their minds because she had lost her home and didn't know that her ex-husband had double mortgaged it. So when she got the insurance money, they took it all, and she and her 3 kids had nowhere to go. So we got together and we raised around $85,000 altogether, and they were able to come up with the other 15. Habitat was able to raise the other 15 grand, but the best picture up here is all of us raising the wall together. I mean, that's like brewers from every single brewery in Fort Collins, which is pretty spectacular. We had Joe Morfeld was the lead brewer at Odell for a long time. We all called him Joe Odell. But he's now at Pint House in Austin, and I packaged up all of our marketing for House That Beer Built, and I passed it on to Joe, and he's way surpassed us. We built 3 House That Beer Builts, and he's built like 8 now. But he also got all of the bars in town to join him, and they're able to raise the money really fast. So they're doing one annually every year now. Other habitats have picked this up from our habitat, and there are like 85 that have been built around the world now. I think New Zealand is the farthest away that I know of that this program has gone to. So really cool stuff. And low barrier of entry. If you get a lot of you to do it together, you can do it. And get your fans involved. Get them on the builds and get them buying a t-shirt and give them ownership in what you're doing. Brew Water is another really cool example of all of us coming together. We never really made like a non-profit out of it, but it was cool to have a name to our collective. There were 14 breweries in Fort Collins that participated in Brew Water. We got together every month and just learned a lot. We kind of took turns bringing experts and people that knew a lot about the watershed in northern Colorado and what was going on. We brought in nonprofits like Colorado Water Trust, and they brought it to our attention that there was a worthless dam on the Poudre River called the Josh Ames that was affecting a 7-mile stretch of river health. That's wild animals, the soil, the organic matter in the water that you don't want in there, E. coli and stuff like that. And they said if we remove this dam, it's really going to help the river quality, people's ability to recreate on the river, and all these wonderful things. It was going to cost $450,000. So we got together, about 14 of us. Everyone gave what they could. Some of us were able to give more than others. I will say that New Belgium was a part of that project, and they gave 3 times what any of the rest of us were able to give. And they never, I know what they gave, but no one else does. They never had to say, like, we gave this much. I think that's so cool. And then the smallest brewery never had to say what they were able to give. It didn't matter. We gave $75,000 collectively to Colorado Water Trust that they took before the Colorado State Senate, and they asked for the remaining funds, and it was the first time in the history of our Senate that they had a unanimous yes vote. So we got the rest of the money. The Josh Ames Dam is gone, and it's improved our river far beyond the reaches of what they had even anticipated. So pretty cool stuff. These are just a few of the water nonprofits that we work with. Do you share these slides too, Shay?
Yes, yep.
If you guys want any, emails or names or folks to be connected with, please let me know. I'll make sure that Shay has my contact too. I'm sure you've heard that Save the Colorado just has done some pretty extraordinary stuff. Glade is going to be built, the big reservoir north of the brewery, but they were able to change it so that it's going to be better for the environment at large. So pretty exciting stuff there. I put Earth Month on here just to inspire y'all to think about what's going on around you in the world at the time. We do things for pride. We celebrate Latino Heritage Month every year. We celebrate Asian American Indian Pacific Islander Month. We kind of lean into what's happening and that people are engaging in, and papers are writing about, and people are talking about, and come in and have a beer, learn more, do more. We always celebrate International Women's Day. You guys will see that we'll have beers on at our 5 Points and Sloan's Lake locations down here in Denver. We always have fun beers on up in Fort Collins. Now we have wine blends and agua frescas and spritzes that are really fun to enjoy when we're doing this. With our wines, because they're more expensive, we often don't give away a glass of wine, but we can do a discount. So often if our guests come in and donate or participate in a cause that we're celebrating or recognizing, we'll do a discount or a free beer. And then, can you measure good? I really think you can. And I feel like, and again, as a manager at Odell, I think that Elliot has seen this. When people come in for interviews, they often talk about the community impact that Odell has as a driver to get them in the door. Something that brought them to us and made Odell attractive as a place to work. And we get really great people because of that. So I would say that's the recruitment piece. The retention piece is, this can be pretty grindy work. You all know it's a lot of cleaning, and then there's more cleaning. But if you can attach a really cool ethos to it, people feel like their work is going towards something good and bettering their community, I think that's really powerful. Obviously it builds reputation, which I think also affects your bottom line, your revenue, and then relationships. There's nothing like being part of the neighborhood. It just isn't. And that's pretty much it. This is where you land. Thank you guys. Thanks for listening to the Okay. Yes.
So these entities in Denver, do you have like a resource list of where we can get in touch?
I haven't really made that, but I have,
Because like I think cleaning up Sloan Lake is
Yes.
freaking awesome.
yeah.
And I work for Choluna, and it'd be awesome to clean up Central Park.
Yep.
But like, I don't know how to go about getting an organization to do that, or like to be a part of it. And so like, I don't know if there's a resource or something, but
Absolutely. With Central Park, I would reach right out to Denver City Parks. I work with a guy named Lewis who's amazing, or Lawrence, Lawrence. And they're so good that like you can leave your trash bags once they're full, and they come around in a golf cart and throw them in the back and pick everything up. And they've got really good rules. You never touch a needle. They give you 5-gallon buckets so that you can put sharps in on them. So if you wanted to invite your fans, you can keep them really safe too. That's hugely important.
I do. I'll help with this.
Yeah.
I work for the city of County of Denver at the airport. We do one every year, and the way it's set up is you go, you sign, you hand in your releases. They do a basic safety talk, explaining what the whole aspect is of what you should and shouldn't do. And if you see a certain thing, make sure everybody withdraws from that, because you never know who's sleeping or whatever's going on in the park. And it's managed that way. So
They do a great
that's
job.
the other piece
Yeah.
that goes with what you're.
Do you mind kind of summarizing that for the sake of the fact that like we are streaming this, so like we're recording this for later, like what was the entire story just?
Yeah, so this gentleman was just sharing that the city does a really great job if you connect with them to get you and your whoever is volunteering with you out to the park. They make sure that you have the right tools. They often have grabbers, bags, and gloves. And they give you a safety spiel. They make sure that everyone has the knowledge that they need to be safe while they're out there. I mentioned that they come and pick up the full bags. Yeah, I can't say enough good things about Denver City Parks. And they love volunteers. Like they want you to come all the time. We've planted trees with them at Sloan's Lake. We're starting a project with them in Globeville. There are these old concrete planters that were built in the 1950s, and Urban League Young Professionals and Javon that started Green Spaces down the street from our Five Points location. He has been working with the city, and we're going to try to help them get those planters filled again. The biggest thing is water, getting them the water trucks on them. But the city is like, if you guys plant them, we'll come. For the first 3 months, they have to water them like every other day or something. But then once they're rooted and in, because they're going to do native stuff, it should be okay. It's just, the city's been awesome.
Okay, yeah, I was just curious
Yeah.
about like a resource, something maybe already established.
Yeah.
Because like, I don't know how to inject our
Yeah.
business into that, but.
Yeah, I would gladly help any way that, again, my email's super easy. It's just Carla with a K at odellbrewing.com. And y'all are welcome to reach out to me. I'll make sure that, that Shay and Elliot pass along my email. Your United Way is getting better and better too. Mile High United Way. Ours was funny. We're like, my experience has been they like fluctuate over time. It really depends on their leadership. But Mile High United Way has just like gone straight up. They're doing such great things, and they're really bringing people together. And my guess is they've got a resource that has folks like Protect Our Rivers, Travel Unlimited, Groundworks Denver, like all the groups that I'm already working with. I never really created a database, but I'm sure that I could charge me for it.
Well, like the slide was like a huge resource for sure.
Yeah.
That'll be uploaded for sure.
Okay.
Also, City of Denver and County of Denver definitely have different resources. Their lists, they're missing some things, but in my experience, the best way to get a hold of anybody is to just send them an email, and you'll be surprised how quickly you get a response from these nonprofits. I'm like, hi, I have 5 hours. I'm like, great, we'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, everybody's really, really interested. So sometimes we Google search of like this and this are what we're passionate about. There you have it. Yeah. But city and county have some lists going right now.
They're awesome. And if you want any like holiday stuff, we're probably a little behind the eight ball on that. But again, United Way is so good at finding like Boys and Girls Club, Toys for Tots, things like that.
And you can always do stuff with the food bank. That's a guarantee. So if you can bring in people into the brewery, and if they donate canned goods or something, you give them $1 off on a beer or whatever you can afford, 10% whatever, right?
Yeah.
That is always a win, because they never have enough food,
I would say too.
especially right now.
you said, we're meeting at 10 a.m. on Saturday morning, and we're going to We Don't Waste, which is an incredible food recovery nonprofit.
Well, they are looking
you
for
mentioned
volunteers
including
tomorrow, by the way, for
Always.
our food market.
Yep.
Okay.
They do pop-up food markets around the city and
Yeah,
food
you mentioned
deserts.
other organizations,
Mhm.
just even having a location
Yeah.
is
Yeah. If you email me and tell me where you're at, I can give you 5 folks right around here.
awesome.
Carla, I have a question for you. When we send out our recap email, can I get in touch with you prior and maybe you give us the top 5 that need some extra volunteers right now
Yep.
on your mind? Okay,
Yeah.
we'll add that to the recap email for everybody.
Cool.
Yay!
And I'll throw out another one too. So if there are things that you are interested in, just do some kind of a search for nonprofits that do what I'll say life skills. Because there's a guy down, I think he's down off Arapahoe Road, that does a thing that's called Second Chance Bikes. And all they do is collect old bikes, old bike parts, all that kind of stuff. And they rebuild bikes for kids. And there's a whole bunch of people that do that kind of stuff. Not just bikes, but anything you can think of. You know, I'm gonna say do cars for kids, but as you know, that can be but all that kind of stuff, if you just look for whatever you're interested in, you might be able to find somebody that's doing something that you can do. And maybe if you're involved with a group of people through the brewery that everybody runs, or everybody does this, or everybody does that, see how you can do something, but then you get that group involved with teaching kids how to run, or all that kind of stuff, because all of that is available out there too. And that doesn't cost anybody a dime, and if it's what you're interested in, you've won. Right?
Yeah, you gotta do what calls to your heart,
Yeah.
so that it's sustainable and you keep doing it.
To build a house with a beer thing is like, God, that's so easy. Most of us know how to do something related to building a house,
Right.
even if it's just carry the wood in and hand it to somebody who's doing the work.
Y'all are a bunch of clever folks. I mean, I feel like what a better way to get together than go out and build somebody's house together. Cool. Yes.
Carla, have you seen Gen Z? You know, not only in terms of recruitment, but like getting some traction, maybe in sales as well. Because it seems like Gen Z's kind of getting a bad rap these days.
Yeah.
But are you seeing any engagement from that?
I do. I mean, I work a lot with the university. You know, we have the great fortune of having CSU right in our backyard there. And I think that Gen Z folks are really engaged as far as buying a product that gives back, buying a product that makes a positive impact. I think they're feeling, I think young people right now are feeling like they're entering a world of abuse, like just a place that doesn't welcome them, that doesn't give a shit. And so I think that any way you can get folks to feel like you do, and it's genuine. I feel like the craft beer industry presents this platform where it's like, this is who we are. When we get together, like, I'm probably a little ideological and lofty because I was brought up, and I mean this was like my first big girl job, and the Odells raised me, and they're so philanthropic. So I have this like, oh, this is what it can be like. I mean, I'm so lucky. But I also think this is what it can be like. Like, you don't have to spend a lot of money. You just have to provide the space. And I would say too, like, I know there's a little bit of a swing, and this is not a knock on like either way, but a lot of young people aren't seeking religion, and they do want to give back in their community. And I do think that for companies like, or industries like craft beer, it's an opportunity to build community and bring them in your door and say, we're going to go do something cool together. Let's go do something cool together. And And then when you're standing in front of a beer cooler, you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get this because I went and built a bicycle with these folks. So yeah, you can't go wrong. It's not like you're gonna be like, damn it, I built a bike for a kid.
I didn't get one of these when I was young.
Unless maybe you see the kid riding down the street and his pedal falls off and you're like, I didn't build that. Yeah.
Put this button on brakes.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know the brakes had to work.
Yeah, this is a little bit awkward for me, but I'm real good one-on-one. I'm always happy to chat with y'all and help any way I can.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Huge thanks to Carla. I couldn't not smile that entire time because there were so many little things where I was like, shit, I could do that. You know? It really goes to prove that reaching out to your community might not be money that comes back in and you know where it's coming from, but that and sustainability will always give us a level up. Also, thank you to all of you for attending my last meeting as president. It's been a really, really amazing 2 years, and it wouldn't be the same without you. So let's go have some more beers if we're feeling it, and thank you for being here. I really was just smiling at you the whole time. It was beautiful. I did a lot of that. A lot of and those moments, what was my I will absolutely be here now. Top five that you know that we can help right now. Yeah, so that we can like try to
Cheers, thanks, Scarlett. Shay. There you go. Woo.
Yeah.